Okay, good morning everyone. Today what I'd like to do is I would like to work with blending photographs in Pixlr E, the 2002 version. So let's get started. I'm going to select Pixlr E there, and I'm going to create new. And I'm going to go with Y 1080p and create. Okay, make this a little bit smaller. There we go, that's a little bit smaller. Now what I'd like to do is I'm going to show you 3 or 4 techniques that you can use to blend pictures, from a very, very simple technique to a more difficult technique, but they're all pretty easy. So don't worry about that. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get some pictures, and I've got some sunflower pictures here, and I thought I would use those. So I'm going to bring one in. Now remember, there's a couple ways that you can bring photos in here. One way is I just drug it and dropped it, which is really nice and easy. That's a pretty easy way, but you could also do it this way by adding a new layer and go to image, and then you can select the image. I'll go to desktop. See, I've got my sunflowers right up here, so I can select an image and insert that easy. Okay. So I'm making these nice and big and letting them flow right off of the page here. And what I want to do is I want to start with the most simple technique for blending images, and that is just to create one layer that is less opaque, so that's transparent or at least translucent. Now to do this, I also have to do is click on the layer, select the layer, the little dots appear for the settings, click on those, and then I can just change the opacity. Okay, so I can see through now this picture. The problem is, when I see through the picture, look at this line right here that I have, and I really want to get rid of that line. So another simple technique to use is just to use the eraser, and I'll show you how to do that. Select the eraser, then I change the brush size to something that's really big and really soft, nice soft edge. Then come over here and just start, whoops, I clicked on the wrong layer, look at that. Let me undo that. Click on the right layer, and then I'm going to start slowly just going around the edge and cleaning that up, just erasing that edge. Okay, I may want to go back and get a little bit smaller brush and just do some random erasing just right around here. So I blended 2 pictures pretty seamlessly here, and that's another technique that you can use. So we have using the opacity and then getting rid of those edges so that we can just kind of blend them together. Now I could just increase the opacity on this and they would still blend together. If I did that, let me show you what it looks like. Okay, they still blend together. It's another technique for blending them together, but if I want to see through it a little bit, you can use the opacity, or if you like it this way, just leave it 100%. Okay, but you can see that they blend together. So that's another technique to use. I'd like to show you a third technique that I like to use, and I want to show you a few other little things that you can do. Let's see, let me get another picture, and I'm going to drop it in because it's easy to drop it in. I'm going to add to current. Okay, and I've got that one right there. Now what I'm going to use is the cut mask tool right here, the scissors, and I'm going to use a gradient. And what I'm going to do is, when I do this, is I'm going to pull this up, this line up here, and what happens is it blends the picture for me. And that's what it does. It blends the picture for me. Let me undo that. I'm going to do a little shorter line. Okay, let me try that again. I think I'm going to move this picture down. Move these flowers down. Okay, you know what I might do? Here's what I might do, is I might go from the top. So again, I'm going to use the cut mask tool. Make sure I'm on the correct layer. That's always important. Then I'm going to make sure that I have the gradient mask, and I'm going to go down this way. So I've got kind of the sunset there. I don't like that. And you could just kind of fool around with this until you get, what you want. So you see I've kind of blended these together just by pulling that down. You see it's nice and dark down here, but it's lighter. I'm showing some of the sky up there, which I think is kind of neat. And it may take a few times before you get what you want. By making it shorter, you get less of the top. And by making it longer, you'll get more of the top. So this is something you just have to try to see what you like. Now you see I've gotten more of the top, and then I'll get even more right there. Okay. So if I'm happy with that, I can stick with that. I want to bring in some text. So remember, I can just create a new layer, and I want it to be a text layer. And sunflower. Okay. You can always come to add local font, click on this. And then if you locate your fonts and downloads here, I downloaded some fonts. I've got this one right here called Sunflower, and I'm going to select that. And then if you'll notice at the top, I should have it added right here, Sunflower Bold. Let's change the size. There we go. Yeah, I really did download another font called Sunflower, but I can't seem to find it. It's in there somewhere, I'm sure. I just can't find it. Okay, I'm going to move this one up to the top here. So I'm going to add a clipping mask to this right here. And let's do that. Let's add another picture. And I want it to be of the sky. So I'm going to go back to my sunflower there, and I'm going to get the magic wand, and I'm going to select the outside, and then I have to hold down the shift and select inside any letters that trap space. So in the O and the E, but like an A or a P or a B, you'd have to select those too. So I selected everything. Now I want to go back to my cloud layer, get my eraser out, and I'll make this edge a hard edge and make it really big. And then I'm just going to erase. And you're like, okay, what'd you do there? You kind of messed that up. I didn't. Don't worry. It's good. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to turn off the original sunflower layer and then deselect. And look what I got here. I have my nice clouds up here. I could put it down here. I could put it there. I thought what I would do is I would try the blending on this layer because I thought it might give you a better idea of what it does. So I'm going to go to the settings and I'm going to try blending mode, and then I can try some different things here. And now you can see some real differences, how this works. And that's kind of interesting, but I won't be able to see the text. And I think that you can try some things with this and see if you can get something that you like. And that's kind of interesting. So you can fool around with this and see if you get something that you like and you want to use. If not, that's fine. You can also do other things to do this right here. You can go to the filter and you could maybe do a drop shadow. Might look good. And remember that you can change the opacity of that. You want it lighter. You want the blur to be a little bit more. And then you can change the placement of it. The offset up and down. Maybe you want it to be the top, maybe you want it to be the bottom. You decide what looks best. Just move these around until you get the look you like. Whoops. And if that's good, you can hit apply and you're good there. Now remember, you can move this if you want to. You could put it in the middle. Now, if you still don't like it, you could always put an outline around this. May or may not work. Let me try this. Let me remove the drop shadow and try another filter. There's lots of filters here that you can work with, and you might want to try an inner glow or an outer glow. You can try an outline. I think that is too big of an outline, but maybe an outline like this would be good. So you could add an outline, and then you could add your drop shadow after. You want to do that. So that might look nice, and you have to just try it to see what you think. and see if that's something that you like. And you just have to wait and see. And then try some different positions. You can try to make it smaller if you want. If you want to do that, I think that's perfectly fine. To change the size of this now, because I've made some changes to it, I'm going to have to go to edit to free transform. So I could try a different size to see if I like it. Different size, try different locations. Maybe I do. I kind of like it down here in the bottom. Kind of think that looks good. Yes, I want to keep it. Okay, so there's my picture. I've used several techniques here. I've used the opacity. I've used just erasing the edges and letting it blend into the other one. I tried the blending modes, and I did the clipping mask tool. And now there's other things you can do with this clipping mask, and I'll let you kind of try those on your own. Well, I will see you guys next time. Good luck, and try some blending.